Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to go over signs that you are a desirable woman, even if you don't want to believe it. And I think this is important because a lot of people, it's hard for them to admit they're desirable and they put themselves down. And I don't think that's healthy for your mental health. I think that accepting the traits that you could be perceived as benefits you in the long run, but also benefits you understanding where you can fit yourself in your society or your perspective. I think those things are important. As always, the research is going to be in the description box. Some of the research might not be accessible to everybody. I'm sorry about that, but I'm still going to cover everything that I'm reading so that you guys have some access to it through this video, okay? This research, the first point, is from the research that was done in 2010, okay? This one is actually not done in the United States. I live in the United States and I prefer research done here just because I can understand the variables a little bit better. Social variables make a difference in research. Believe it or not, it does. This one was actually done in China, but it was really cool. And I agree with this, which is why I decided to use it because I see this in the United States too. Women who are desirable to men, actually, it's someone who tends to have predictable emotions and manage their reactions. So basically, someone who is emotionally stable. This is the opposite of what in psychology we might call someone who leans neurotic from a psychodynamic standpoint, which is what I practice, psychoanalytical. And we can see that this actually predicts relationship satisfaction, and it helps your partner also feel like they can be more reliable too, because they know how to communicate and give you what you need, right? And even men who are just dating, single men and single ladies, let's say that's an example. Often a lot of these men, you can ask them, and guys, any men in the comment section, let me know if this is true with you guys. I see it a lot in session where a lot of men admit, like, even if she's attractive, if she's not emotionally stable, that's something that he can't commit to just because he knows it's not going to last and it's like a waste of his time. It's a really common thing that's brought up in session. And so any ladies watching, this is probably one of the most important ones, which is why I put it first, okay? This is desirable. A lot of men really desire emotionally stable women. They just do. And I don't think that's too hard to give them. I'm not sure. I could be biased on that, but I think it's definitely doable. The next one is very interesting, I think. This research was done in 2009. And actually, men really do like women who are good at problem solving or who are at least comfortable with abstract thinking. Interesting enough, men do prefer individuals who are able to kind of think on their own and manage these things, especially for long-term relationships, which a lot of women want a long-term relationship. Not all of you guys, but a lot of you guys do. And men tend to actually prefer women who are a little bit more intelligent as a long-term partner. You don't have to be a genius, but they just like that they're able to have some conversations with you, see that you can solve things on your own so that they don't always have to do it. Because sometimes they're just tired, sometimes they're just busy, and you being able to do it on your own really gives them a peace of mind that they don't always have to solve your problems. Of course they want to, like overall they do like to, but sometimes they want you to be able to do it too, right? Kind of divide and conquer type thing. And so, they feel very attracted to women like this, okay? The next one is, this research was done in 2012. And I don't know how, I'm going to try and explain it. A lot of men find it attractive or like they feel like it's appealing and desirable, especially for a long-term partner or a wife. If you're able, the woman is able to choose partners who have similar traits to themselves, or they look at other attributes of a mate rather than just solely focusing on chemistry. So I'm going to explain it in a little bit more detail. Let's say you have, I don't know, maybe you have a certain religious background, you have a certain upbringing, maybe you have a certain education, whatever it may be, and you want to be with somebody who can have conversations about, I don't know, maybe you studied art in school, and you would like somebody who at least understands a little bit about art or who is more open to hearing those things and won't judge you. And you also want somebody who is creative in general. Those things might help with long-term compatibility instead of picking that guy who's, I don't know, not treating you so right, but you're very, very attracted to him and you feel like there's a lot of chemistry. Obviously, that might not last. That guy might hurt you. And so it might be healthier, and men think it's attractive when women are able to choose partners not just on their emotions, basically, right? When you're choosing a partner who's not treating you well and they're not changing and they're not adjusting, but you're solely about the chemistry and the feeling that you feel, it's an emotional decision, some part of it. I'm not saying all of it. And men actually are attracted to women who are able to make those decisions in relationships with a combination, right? You want to be attracted to them. I'm not saying pick someone who's not attractive, but you also want to pick someone who's stable. And again, research was done in 2012. This was based on the role of personality and intelligence in mating and relationships, okay? I thought that was so cool. The next one is, this one was done in 2019. And this one is basically that you are just kind and generous in general. But another part of it was that you're a little bit more flexible in social situations. I think this is a little bit silly because, to be honest, I don't have this characteristic. I wish I'm kind and gentle, but I'm definitely not flexible in social situations. So ladies, any of you guys that have that, really cool. I'm pretty rigid in social situations. I don't like that about myself. I'm trying to fix it. But just a little point about me. But a lot of men actually like women who are more flexible in social situations, who are more kind, who are more generous. And this is across cultures, by the way. This was across all different cultures. I can't remember the specific cultures, but you guys can look at it. But the main thing about this research was kindness. So you don't have to be flexible in social situations. It makes it better. But as long as you're kind and gentle, usually men find that very desirable because it just means that you're not going to judge him. You're going to be nice to him and other people. But the flexible in social situations, the reason why this can be helpful is sometimes it allows him to not feel like you're so uptight. And I am uptight. I'm not going to deny that. But it would probably be better if I wasn't. And I'm trying. But somebody who's less uptight is easier to talk to. They're easier to connect with. And it allows men to also be, they can, if you're more flexible in social situations, they can bring you to multiple different places and you're not going to be upset about it or be uncomfortable about it or need to be home at a certain amount, like certain time. It allows them to feel like they can take advantage of that in a way where they can take lead. I'm not saying in a bad way. It's a good thing, right? And so they're also able to be more generous with their emotional assets because you're more flexible with what they have to give, if that makes sense. Very important, okay? And the next one is being trustworthy and also reliability, but particularly when you try to be honest, even when others wouldn't be. People find this trait very desirable for women because it shows that you're a dependable partner, but you also are emotionally stable. This research was done in 2006. It means that you can think for yourself and you actually operate in a way where you consider how other people will feel about the outcome. If you lie and somebody finds out, obviously that's going to break trust. It's going to hurt the relationship. But if you're honest, even when others wouldn't be, it can help. Let's say, I don't know, your boyfriend says, hey, do you like this tie I'm wearing? And you don't like it, but you also feel, I don't know, maybe you know he likes it. You could say, I actually don't like it. You know, you want to be honest, but I don't think it looks horrible. It's definitely not my taste. I think I'd prefer a different color, but I do think you like it. So let me know like how you feel about that. But these are my thoughts, right? You're not saying, I don't like your tie, get rid of it, it's ugly. Please don't say that. But you are saying, this is my opinion. What's yours? How do you feel about that, right? And so these are some of the reasons and ways that traits women have that are desirable. I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.